I'm Savannah.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Lizzie.
Gun control is an important topic relevant today, especially with the inauguration of our new president coming up soon.
We believe that tight gun regulations should be enforced in the United States for safety reasons. This issue is so important because of how many gun-related deaths occur each year.
The United States has one of the highest mass shooting rates compared to other countries. We think enforcing more laws will help decrease this.
The National Rifle Association has had a powerful impact on the public. They have consistently been fighting for less gun regulations. If guns really could reduce crime, the U.S. would have the lowest homicide rate compared to other countries instead of the highest homicide rate.
The strict laws of other countries have kept homicidal violence and other gun incidents down. It is important that we take a stand and work towards more control to decrease our murder rate.
President Obama in June 2015, after the Charleston mass shooting, stating, "At some point, we as a country will have to reckon with the fact that this kind of mass violence does not happen in other advanced countries. It doesn't happen in other places with this kind of frequency. It is in our power to do something about it."
More guns won't stop gun violence. Guns actually represent the greatest threat. The right to carry law is associated with significant increases in violent crime, according to the Uniform Crime Reports data from 1979 to 2012. The 33 states that adopted RTC laws experienced a 4% to 19% increase in violent crimes. It is unusual that a gun would be immediately available to protect yourself if you were under attack. Loaded guns in homes are more of a threat to children than if they got their hands on it thinking it was a toy.
Australia hasn't had a mass shooting since 1996 with the enforcement of tough gun control laws. Gun suicide and homicide fell to about 1 per 100,000 while the U.S. rate is at 4.5 per 100,000.
Of course, strict gun regulations cannot ensure that mass shootings will be eliminated, but it is an important step towards the safety of our country. Gun possession by individuals is vital for legitimate purposes such as self-defense and hunting and should not be interfered with by the authorities.
61% of men and 56% of women surveyed by Pew Research said that stricter gun laws would make it more difficult for people to protect their homes and families. 79% of male gun owners and 80% of female gun owners said owning a gun made them feel safer. Gun ownership acts as an equalizer for women, who are then able to defend against attacks by stronger, more aggressive men.
I'll just say it again. The Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution clearly guarantees the right to possess firearms by individual citizens. The people who dispute this are misinterpreting the U.S. Constitution. More gun control laws would break the terms upon the right to bear arms. We recognize the opposing concerns, but continue to stand by enforcing stricter gun laws.
I think that we should have more or less gun control in the United States. Yes, I think that gun control could be more as far as I'd say background checks and again, a whole other topic is what, how far can a citizen go as far as, owning what kind of guns. And it seems that most people would like to restrict the guns that can do mass destruction. Do I think gun violence in the United States compares to other countries? In the documentary that I show our classes, it's called Bowling for Columbine. It goes through the countries that are like us, that have much stricter laws other than Canada, which has about the same amount of guns per capita that we do, and they have less than 60 gun deaths a year. So we are far greater at killing each other with guns than any other country that would be considered like us. Can we formulate ways to track down illegal guns? Wow. When we have as many guns in our country as we do people, that's well over 300 million, I don't know that there would be a very effective way of tracking guns.
This is an absolute epidemic that is happening all across this country since Sandy Hook. And why I say that we're complicit is that when there is no response from Congress, when there is not a single legislative act passed to try to do something about this, it sends a message a message of quiet endorsement of what's happening. I know that's not our intent. I know that's not in the hearts or minds of any of our members. But people notice when every week there is a new story of a school shooting all across the country and Congress does absolutely nothing about it. Well, the private sector and state legislatures step up to the plate to do something about it. And so this is a day when we remember what happened 2 years ago, but a day in which we should feel ashamed that we haven't done a single thing to try to stem this tide.
The rest of our rights are also important. Second Amendment rights are important, but there are other rights that we care about as well, and we have to be able to balance them. Because our right to worship freely and safely, that right was denied to Christians in Charleston, South Carolina, and that was denied Jews in Kansas City, and that was denied Muslims in Chapel Hill and Sikhs in Oak Creek. They had rights too. Our right to peaceful assembly, that right was robbed from moviegoers in Aurora and Lafayette. Our unalienable right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, those rights were stripped from college kids in Blacksburg and Santa Barbara, and from high schoolers at Columbine.